three things to understand about how provider energy men think.
This will be good. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but he's like, I need to tell the ladies how provider men really
Yes.
think. So my disclaimer is this is Coach B unfiltered,
Yes.
but I know it's going to help you ladies.
And I'm Coach B, of course,
Yes.
former lifelong bachelor. Really excited to go in deeply and to help you understand the male's brain and how
Mhm.
we think about you, how we think about situation and just relationship and marriage.
Okay, this is gonna be so good. If you are new here, this whole channel is to help you re regulate and really activate that feminine energy, help you re regulate and heal your hormones and your nervous system.
Mm.
And that this is an area that I really specialize in. I was a former single mama. So if you're a single mom, I understand that life, I understand that struggle life. I had 4 kids, went through a whole bunch of trauma and loss, had a major glow up, not just physically,
Mm.
but spiritually, energetically, did a whole bunch of healing. And this to date, we have helped over 1,000 women do the same. We've helped them get engaged,
Yeah.
get married, help them understand the masculine brain, and just help you live your best soft girl life.
Mm. So definitely get those pens and pads ready for this today. Any questions you have, drop those questions as well. So I'm going to jump right
Okay.
into it for the ladies. The three things to help you understand how men think. Number one is men care more about how you think than your
Mm,
education. So
that's
when I
it.
say that, what I mean is they care more about your philosophy in life, how you go about life, how you think about things, because how you think about things is how it's going to affect them in the relationship, because
Yes.
it's going to affect your kids, how you raise your kids. All of that
Yeah.
matters to a man. So we're thinking about how you think about just life in general, because we
Hmm.
understand as much as we respect your education, that's getting information from a book.
Yeah.
It's not practical.
Yes.
Men are looking at practicality when it comes down to how you think. If
Yes.
you're only thinking from a book's way or from what you've been taught
Hmm.
in the school system or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
then that can go anyway, because
Yeah.
depending on what type of school you went to, what type of neighborhood you went to, what type of school you went to in
Yeah.
that neighborhood,
Yeah.
then that may kind of change how you think. But when
Hmm.
it comes down to how you think, now we're talking about how you were raised, how the people around you, what they said to you, what they did for you, and that becomes who you are. And then you're going to pass it on to our kids. You're going to actually function this way within the relationship. So if you're not thinking in a way that makes sense to a man, then a healthy masculine energy man won't move forward with you. He won't try to change your thinking.
Yeah.
Healthy men aren't trying to change you. We're not trying to make you, okay, let me make her think the way I think, or let me, build her up so she
Yeah.
can really understand. No. When we're in the dating phase, if you don't think in a certain way, then we just move on. Now, when you get married and maybe we have some disagreements or things, then we can talk it out. But before then, men will just move on to the next woman.
Okay, this is really good because we coach a lot of women, and sometimes they feel insecure
Mm.
because maybe they don't have a high paying job
Mm.
or the best education or they've had a rough
Yeah.
life, right? And I mean, we coach so many different types of women.
Mm.
We have women like that, and we have a bunch of women that are doctors,
Mm.
nurses, nurse practitioners, coaches, therapists, business owners. So I love our community. We have such
Yes.
a diverse group of women that we coach. But one of the biggest things that sometimes women need help getting past
Mm.
is they have shame from their past.
Mm.
And so, what I encourage you to do is just know that men don't care about your educational
Mm.
status. And I'm,
Okay.
I'm talking like a provider type man.
Yes.
They don't care if you are a cashier at a grocery store
That's so true.
or if you are a PhD prof.
Mm.
Okay. We've seen both types of women get married, we've helped them, but you have to be okay with it. The other thing, to echo what you're saying, honey, because this is such a good point, is for you as a woman, what you can do to really just be an interesting person is just personal development.
Mm.
As you're growing and as you are learning and as you're evolving as a person, you are going to be more interesting.
Yes.
And when you are an interesting person, period, people are attracted to you.
Mm.
Men, women, everyone is
Yeah.
attracted to you. So don't worry about, okay, I have a degree, I don't have a degree, I have this job, I don't have this job, whatever. Just, are you an interesting person?
Mm.
Are you interested in yourself? And if you're not, that is a great place to
Yeah.
start, because high value provider type men are typically in spaces where they're around interesting people, and you need to be able to hold a conversation. You need to understand how to carry
Yeah.
yourself and just be interesting to be around.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and a great point you made as well, where we see so many men, they'll marry women that, like you said, are cashier or working jobs that
Yeah.
people don't necessarily look at as high
Yeah.
value jobs, but we understand that every job matters. But men would rather be with someone who actually thinks the right way and has an okay job, because most
Yeah.
men aren't looking for you to come in and, take care of anything in that
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Then someone who's highly educated, but their
Yeah.
philosophy and the way they think in life
Yeah.
is totally opposite to who he is, what he
Yeah.
believes, because that's the foundation of who you are. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that healthy provider energy men understand. We can't change your foundation
Right.
within ourselves. That's work that you can do to
Yeah.
help change it, but we can't change the foundation of who you are. So coming with the right philosophy and understanding what it is to be a wife, what it is to be in your feminine, all of that is
Mhm.
what we're looking at, and we're not going to walk you through that process.
You already got to be in that wifey energy.
Yes, yes,
Yes. And before we get to second point, I just want to shout out all the people that are watching from around the world. Can you guys drop in the comments? And if you're watching the replay, comment where you are watching
yes,
from. Yeah.
definitely. I'm gonna jump straight into point number two. I see
Okay.
Christy, I see Christine Appling, some of the
Hello.
ladies in our Feminine Energy Academy. Welcome in. But the second point is looking good is non-negotiable. Your personality
Mhm.
only matters if you look good. And
Mm.
what I mean by that is every person, every man has his own definition of what looking good is. But looking good is what gets you in the door.
Mhm.
I know so many women have great personalities where he's got to like me for me. I'm not going to change for anybody. If he doesn't, like how I look, then he's just got to deal with it. And
Yeah.
the fact is he won't deal with it if you don't
Mhm.
look good. If you're not presenting yourself well, I
Mhm.
don't care if you're the funniest, the most exciting to be around, your family loves you, people at the job love you. If you don't look good, and that really comes down to taking care of yourself,
Yes.
making sure you're not just walking out the house every day with a hat on, no makeup, not your hair's not done, or you just throwing on sweats and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Things like that matter for
Mhm.
men. So if you're not looking good, I don't care if you look good, right? If you look good underneath it, even though men will say, okay, I see she has potential,
Mhm.
men don't move by potential only. You've got to be
Yeah.
able to show that you look good. It's okay to have a day where you're not, looking your best.
Yes.
But that's twofold. One thing, understand that may be the day that you potentially come across your husband. So
Yeah.
you always want to be prepared. You
Yeah.
stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
But also understanding that men aren't men aren't looking to see, okay, she potentially can look good. Men aren't
Yes.
moving forward off potential alone.
Yeah.
Men are looking at, okay, where is she at now? Is she looking the part? Because I don't care, how nice of a person she is. And some of you ladies and some of you guys can even chime in on this. It's so many times where the personality's good, you're cool to be around, and he just won't move forward. He's trying to keep you in the friend zone, or vice
Mhm.
versa, being kept in the friend zone because the personality within itself doesn't cause the healthy masculine energy man to want to wife you.
Ooh, this was go and this was so good.
Yeah.
This is truth telling. So ladies, if you're triggered, it's okay. I love you so much. Let's unpack this.
Yes.
This is so important because the masculine brain is visual. You cannot undo this in a man. A man is visual. And I love what you said, honey. It's like, yes, you have to be beautiful. That's not the only thing, but in order for him to even get to know
Yes.
that you're an amazing person, he has to be attracted to you. Now, here's the other thing, ladies, because we have all these stories that we tell ourselves
Mm.
as women, especially you're on social media and you're comparing yourself to other women, or you just have stories that have been floating around your head that men don't like big women, men don't like small
Mm.
women, men don't like tall women, men don't like dark skinned women, men don't like women of certain age or ethnicity. Those are all not
Yes.
true. Men love women. And
Mhm.
just say this to yourself, I'm the right type of pretty for my husband.
Yes.
However, ladies, I'm also going to encourage you as a hormone and weight loss coach as well to take care of your body.
Yeah.
You as a woman, no matter what your shape is and size is, if you take care of your body as a woman, you're shapely,
Mm.
you do the stuff that we talk about, your confidence as a
Yes.
woman is going to go so high. And ladies, you're going to open up
Yeah.
such a huge pool of men to choose from. You don't have to look like a supermodel,
Yes.
but you do have to look good for your age.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what's so important, even as we're giving these tips to
Yes.
understand, is what a man likes, what a man desires, is what a man desires.
Yeah.
You have two options with that. Either you make the adjustments to become what he desires, or you have
Yeah.
to understand that you probably won't be able to attract the type of man you want to be with. And this
Yeah.
is something that we all have to deal with when
Yeah.
it comes down to jobs, when it comes down to neighborhoods. Okay, I want to live
Yeah.
here. What's your credit score?
Yeah.
I can't say why you're looking at my credit score.
Yeah.
I got to get my credit score
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
or I won't move into that neighborhood.
Mhm.
So for us, it's really about adding value and bringing awareness to you. So if you do desire to be married, and you desire to be married to a certain type of guy, then
Yes.
now you have the tools that you need to actually position yourself so you can attract him. And a lot of times it only takes a couple of tweaks for that. And we see it so much in the
Yeah.
Feminine Energy Academy, where the ladies come in
Yeah.
and they're attracting men, but men don't want to take it to the next
Yeah.
level. And they make these small adjustments. They're engaged,
Yeah.
they get married, they're moving forward with the type of guys that they desire to be with.
Oh, that's so good. And often these types of women end up in situationships
Mhm.
because you're settling, ladies. So I coach so many women that are struggling with this. And I was actually talking to a woman yesterday in the Feminine Energy
Mm.
Academy, and we get lots of women like this, where they're done with their situationship, they're in their healing stage, right? Like we're working on their nervous system, their feminine energy, they're skilling up, she's working on her body, all that stuff. Single mom with 3 kids. Anyway, she was asking, I want to date higher income bracket men. And I was like, awesome. Okay. The first thing they're going to look at is they need to be attracted to you.
Mm.
I'm just going to be really honest with you, ladies, is they want to be attracted to you.
Yes.
So once again, you don't need to look like a supermodel, but you do need to look good for your age.
Yeah.
And when you date older men that are, a few years older than you, 5, 10 years older than you are going to be a spring chicken to him.
Mm.
So if you're in your 30s, date men in their 40s.
Yeah.
If you're in your 40s, date men in their 50s. If you're in their 50s, date men in their 60s, right? Because what will happen is you will be like a hot young babe to him, right? And I don't want to give away all my secrets, but let me just reinforce exactly what you're saying. He will not even get a chance to get to know
Yeah.
you until you look good.
Yeah.
And you are actually confident. You have high self-esteem as a woman. Otherwise, you're going to fall into a situationship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. We'll get to the questions shortly, but I
Yeah.
want to give the third point on
Okay.
exactly how men think and
Yes.
exactly what we're thinking during the process of
Yes.
looking for a potential wife. The third thing to know, because a lot of ladies, one thing they struggle with in doing the process of dating and getting to know
Yeah.
is, okay, his schedule's busy, he's got a
Yeah.
lot going on. But the third point is, men that want to be with you will move things around, and that'll never be a hindrance to getting to know you. And I
Yes.
know one thing that we hear is during that process of, okay, you may be dating long distance, you may be dating and he has a night job, you have a day job, or vice versa. One thing to know with that, just like in our situation,
Yeah.
when we started dating for marriage,
Yeah.
I'm not saying just talking. When you're just talking to a man, rotationally dating, those men won't necessarily move things for you
Yeah.
if they don't want to move forward, if they want to make it a situationship.
Yeah.
Situationship men do things by convenience.
Yeah.
Men that want to marry you and want to really take things to the next level move things around. So I don't care if their work schedule's off, they'll take off a day of work, they'll move
Yes.
hours around, they'll have someone else take their shift. They'll have someone, maybe if they have people working for them, maybe have someone do a few extra hours. They'll fly. And
Yeah.
this is actually a real testimony from one of the ladies in the FEA. they'll fly to your city just to have lunch with you and
Yeah.
fly back the same
Yeah.
day because they want to make sure. And all that they're doing when men are pursuing you and they want to move forward, they're letting you know that they can provide for you. They're letting you know that they
Yeah.
can protect you. They'll do anything to show that there's someone that can take care of
Yeah.
you. So even if flying across the country for a couple of hours
Yeah.
or taking off work early, driving to you, I
Yeah.
know that's something as well.
Yeah.
Even with my sister, Dr. Bridget, who uh, in her early 50s started dating and
Yeah.
got married. He was driving to her from, 3, 4 hours
Yeah.
away just to see her. They'll get hotels,
Yeah.
whatever it takes. So, not
Mm-hmm.
having excuses for men that want to pursue you.
Yes.
Because and I'll let you go ahead and add to,
Yeah.
but we see a lot of times when women first come into the FEA or when women come on here, they're
Yeah.
making excuses for these men like,
Yeah.
well, he just doesn't have the time. He likes me. He's a provider guy. He has a great job. He's taking care, but we haven't seen each other yet.
Yeah. Or just a couple times.
Yes. And if
Yeah.
that's the case, then we encourage you to continue rotationally dating. He's not serious about you to the point where he wants to take it to the next level.
That's so good. And ladies, we are talking about provider type men that are in their healed masculinity, right? So they're like in that sperm energy where they're used to going the distance. They are willing to go the distance. Can you imagine a sperm that wasn't willing to go the distance? That sperm would die off.
Yes.
Literally, that sperm would die off,
Yes.
right? The sperm that is willing to go the distance, fight and compete and go all the way
Yes.
and not quit, that's the winning sperm. That is how God has designed the men. Okay, whether he's awakened to that or not, that's not your issue,
Yep.
ladies. Your issue is you just decide and make yourself available for the man that is willing to go the distance for you. That's how you filter these guys out. In our situation, when my husband first came to Canada, he was going back and forth
Yeah.
between Canada and Chicago every month until he finally decided to permanently move
Yeah.
to Canada to help us move to the US and
Yeah.
get married, right? So men, and it was super inconvenient for him,
Yes.
right? But men are willing to do what they need to do when they are serious about you. And if they're not, that's okay.
Yes.
Don't get triggered. Don't look at it as like, rejection
Yeah.
or, whatever. Don't make excuses for him, but just keep dating
Yes.
because he might be a great guy. You guys might be in love with each other, but he might not be ready. This is why we also tell you don't sleep with these guys.
Yes. Yes,
Right?
so true, so
Yeah.
true. And one thing to know, adding to
Yeah.
that, you can't force or convince a guy to want to
Yeah.
be with you. So a lot of times, what happens is he'll tell you stuff to try to make you
Yeah.
kind of loosen up on those boundaries. Like, okay, I need to sleep with you first, so I can know that I want to be
Yeah.
with you, or we have to live together, so I can know I want to be with you. Or you have to do that. You have to cook for me, so I can make sure that you're someone that I
Yeah.
want to be with. Whenever a man makes you feel uncomfortable intentionally,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, sometimes men say stuff they don't understand the effect they have, but when they're saying stuff intentionally to kind of throw you off and to kind of make you feel uncomfortable, then that's not a man who's ready to move forward and protect and provide for you, because he's not going to bring chaos into your life. He's not going to make you feel uncomfortable where you have to make decisions that don't line up with your boundaries but make him feel good. So when a man starts going off and telling you what you have to do so he feels good, or be with him, and you have to do this, you have to do that, we have to have sex. If he's telling you that stuff, I say really pull back, move away from that situationship, because it's not going to go in the way that you desire. Even though you may end up being with him, you're going to you're going to cross a lot of boundaries. You're going to just step outside of who you are and what you desire to be with him, and you're going to have to continue that throughout the relationship.
That's so good. And masculine energy men are designed to solve problems. That's masculine energy, is the ability to solve problems. So for a woman who's always in her masculine energy, she's always analyzing and solving problems. Okay. Don't bring that energy into your dating life, ladies. Otherwise, you're going to attract feminine men. So just as an example of what we're talking about, if you guys are dating long distance, or he has a lot going on in his life, that's a problem, right?
Yes.
But give him space to solve that problem.
Mm.
See how he solves that problem. And if he's not solving that problem so he can come and see you, or so he can go on dates with you and be consistent with you,
Mm.
then he's not in his masculine
Yes.
energy with you.
Yes.
He might be taking care of business or his work or whatever, maybe he's in his masculine there, but he's not in his masculinity when it comes to
Yeah.
relationships. So don't try to fix things for men. Don't solve their problems. Give them that space to
Yes.
do it so that you can stay in your feminine and he can be in his activated masculine chasing mode.
So,
Yeah.
so true. I want to go to one comment real quick. Says, wow, initially when we were dating, he told me he likes me because I'm very smart and intelligent
Yeah.
and doesn't care how I look, but it was all a lie.
There's a
it,
lot.
it goes back to the point where men don't care about men care more about how you think than your
Yes.
education. I don't
Yeah.
care, at the beginning, men will
Yeah.
say anything. And he may truly like the fact that you're
Yeah.
educated, that, I have two sisters, one's a PhD, one has an MBA, a master's. So men like women that are smart, but
Yeah.
men care more about how you think than how smart you are as far as education wise, book smart and
Mhm.
things like that. So, and then men always the thing they care about most is how you look. So education, all that doesn't matter. So you're right on point.
Okay, let me also explain. When a man's telling you you're super smart, that doesn't mean that, oh, you're super educated.
Mm.
Intellect, ladies, intellect and education are
Mm.
two different things. There's a lot of really dumb people that
That's
have
true.
degrees.
That's so true.
And I'm just going to call it for what it is. There's a lot of really dumb people that have degrees and a lot of, I don't want to bash anybody.
Yes.
But anyway, so when a man is saying, oh, you're so smart and all that stuff, what he's saying is he likes how you think.
Mm.
So exactly what you're saying. The other thing too, ladies, is that's not how men fall in love.
That's true.
Men fall in, he might like how you think,
That's so
which is,
true.
important. He likes how you look, which is important. But what's going to get him to really be hooked on you, where he's obsessed, where
Mm.
he, like in a healthy way, where he will fly to another country, move, change things around to be with you, is how he feels in your presence.
Mm.
And most times men won't be able to articulate that to you.
Mm.
Okay. He will just be like, I just need to be in her presence.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the sound of your voice. I just need you in my life. And a lot of times men won't even realize that until you give them the space that they need.
Yes.
That's why it's so important to do the stuff that we teach so you stay detached. Doesn't mean the walls are up and you're guarded. It means that you are detached from the outcome.
Mm.
Okay. So if you need help with this, you need help with detaching from the wrong person, really being in that soft, potent, magnetic energy that men are just obsessed with, especially masculine energy men. I mean, we have an entire feminine energy academy where I teach you all these things because it's an embodiment. It's not
Yes.
about how smart you are
Mm.
or anything like that. It's an embodiment. So,
Yes.
yeah.
And we had one comment that I wanted to add to. It said, to be honest, most men like women that are upfront and come up to them and tell them that they want to go on a date with them.
Oh,
And
Lord
just to respond
Jesus.
to that, most men that do that are in their feminine. So they're not the type of men they're not the type of men that want to provide and protect for you. They
Yes.
want you to provide and protect for them in most cases,
Yes.
because when men like you and want to be with you, healthy provider energy men understand that, everything doesn't always work out, but they'll shoot their shot. They'll come up to you, they'll talk to you,
Yeah.
they'll approach you,
Yeah.
and whatever you say, they're still going to be respectful in the whole entire conversation. But men that are waiting for you to approach them are
Yeah.
usually men that are all about themselves. They care about
Yes.
themselves. They're in the
Yes.
mirror flexing.
Yeah.
They're not concerned about you. You have to continue to tell them how good they look, how nice they are. You have to continue to make them feel good
Yep.
instead of them making you feel good. So men that want you to approach them, now it's a difference between dropping the handkerchief
Yes. Yes.
and approaching a man. Like,
Yeah.
we understand that dropping the handkerchief is where you drop it, they pick it up,
Yeah.
and then they help you and the conversation starts from there. But men
Yeah.
that are sitting back, sitting in a cut and looking at you and waiting on you to walk over to them, ladies, trust me with this. Don't give them the time of day, because
No.
these men are not in their healthy provider energy. They may look good,
Yeah.
but they're not concerned about you. They're more concerned about themselves and you have to continue to lift them up to make them feel good.
And it's not how God's designed things. That's the equivalent of the egg chasing the sperm.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, men, there's going to be some men that love that.
Yeah.
Right? You know what it's like too? It's like, in a basketball game, if you ever watch your kids play basketball and then the wrong team accidentally shoots on its own net,
Yeah.
everyone is cheering, everyone's happy. But if they won the game that way, there wouldn't be a sense of fulfillment, right? Because men are designed to compete and chase, and that's how they fall in love with you, is by them pursuing you,
Yes.
being in that sperm energy. So even if men are saying, "Oh yeah, come up to us and we love it," and they're high-fiving, and I've seen social media videos like that, where the woman goes up and gets his number, and then like they're all high-fiving with each other. These men are weak men. Okay? And the woman is in her masculinity, right? It's not that they're weak men, it's just when a woman is in her masculinity, the man is going to lean back into his femininity.
Yes. And it's going to turn into a situationship because now you've pursued him. So he has all the leverage in the relationship. So now you're calling him, asking him what he's doing. Are you free tonight? Instead of him pursuing you, he'll rarely call you unless he needs anything, because he knows that you want him. So it's so important, even if you're attracted to someone, to sit back and allow him to approach you, and to understand that men reach out to you 85 to 90% of the time. They're reaching out first to you when you're interacting, when you're having phone calls, not you giving them a good morning text. Good morning, handsome. I was thinking about you. I was just checking on you, see if you need anything to eat. That's what men do. Men reach out and check on you, make sure you're good, but you don't want to find yourself in that energy. And most of those men who allow you to approach them and move forward with it, those end up in situationships and rarely end up in a wife type situation.
This is so important for you ladies to understand, because even if you are dating men right now, or a guy you really like right now, if you find yourself, you're the one that's having to initiate text messages, phone calls, dates, you're on him like, "Oh, we haven't been on a date in a while. When are you going to come see me? When are we going to get engaged?" You are dragging him. And if you have to drag him in the dating phase, you're going to have to keep dragging him in the marriage phase. You are going to be so resentful as a woman, and your hormones can't handle it. Like, speaking from a hormone coach, your hormones can't handle that, babe. You are not designed to be in your chasing masculine energy where, you're stressed and anxious all the time, triggered all the time, running off of cortisol and adrenaline, trying to get things done to keep him happy. Okay? That's not how God's planned things. No.
And shout out to Romania. We have someone
Ooh,
here
hey.
from Romania. But another great point says men like to chase, not be chased. And it's so true, because even thinking back to when we were children, even now, if you see a man getting chased, let's just say it doesn't look right if a man is getting chased. I don't care who's chasing him. For a man, it's about standing there, dealing with what's going on. And in some situations, even as a child, where it's like, okay, you might have to fight your way out of it. It can be a physical fight. It can be a fight where you're just saying, okay, we're going to talk this out, but I'm not running. No, whenever you see a man getting chased by anyone, it's something within you that makes you think that he may not be fully a man.
Oh, that's so good.
So wanted to go over a couple more, and then I'll kind of go over what we talked about. But one question said, why is it, do you want to ask something before I say this?
Well, maybe while you're looking for questions, I just want to mention one thing to the ladies, because they're like, okay, yes, of course, I want a man like this. I want a man that wants to spoil me and marry me, and I don't want to have to work if I don't want to work, or I want to be able to do what I want to do as a woman by being a wife, not being like super independent where you're not caring about your husband. That's not what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay. But what I was going to say, for you as a woman, if you want to date higher quality men, you want to live a different type of life, and you look good. Like, let's already assume that you look really, really good. Okay. It's really important that you embody this feminine energy. Okay. Because the masculine is attracted to the polar opposite. He is attracted to a woman in her feminine, not a woman in her masculine energy. That is how you have options as a woman. And that is, if that's something that you struggle with, ladies, where maybe you look feminine, but you're not really attracting masculine energy type men that want to provide for you and marry you, that's when I really invite you to get healing.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, we have like 30-day feminine energy embodiment programs. We have dating and marriage programs because this is an important skill set in dating and in marriage. We have all of that for you, and you can try it for free in the Feminine Energy
Yes.
Academy. Yep.
And I'll just go over the 3 points
Yeah.
in which we first started talking about today. The first thing is men care more about how you think than your education. When I mean your
Yes.
education, if you have a PhD, if you have
Yeah.
all these degrees from school, men don't value that as much as they
Yeah.
do as how you think. So it's so important that you're thinking like a wife, that you're
Yeah.
moving like a wife, because we understand how you think is how you're going to think when we're raising our kids together. So men
Yeah.
value that so much more than your education. And then the second point is looking good is non-negotiable for a man. That's the
Yeah.
starting point
Yeah.
when you're looking to attract a man,
Mhm.
because men are moved by what we see.
Yeah.
So if we see someone that looks good, now we'll figure out how fun are they to be around, how
Yeah.
smart are they, what type of personality do they have.
Yeah.
You can have the best personality in the world, but if you're not looking good in that time that they're seeing you, if they're looking at you and
Mhm.
they know you, your personality will never make them want to be with you alone. It's
Yeah.
how you look. Then we worry about your personality. Then we worry about how you
Yeah.
think, but that goes first. And then the last point with men is they'll move things around for you
Yes.
if they want to be with you. So if you're
Yes.
dating someone, getting to know someone, they're super busy, they live in another city, they'll come see you
Yeah.
in February of next year because they're just so busy until then. They're
Mhm.
traveling the world, they have a lot going on. Those men aren't ready to move forward with you. And you have to
Yeah.
be okay with that,
Yeah.
because we always say watch what a man does and not only what he says, because men
Yes.
will say anything,
Mhm.
especially if they know you, they understand kind of what causes
Yeah.
you to move and causes you to be emotional.
Yeah.
They'll tap into those emotions by saying whatever it is that they know they need to say. So trust what they do and not what they say.
And also, ladies, you sleeping with the men before you're married, engaged, married, whatever you believe in, when you sleep with a man prematurely, it takes away that chasing energy, and it's
Mm,
so subconscious. It's so subconscious. The men don't even realize that they're doing this,
mm,
but their testosterone has changed, their dopamine levels have changed, and now they're focused on something else. They've conquered you. So this is why it's also so important, ladies. Now, if you have already done this, there's no shame. It's okay, but you do want to practice detaching and giving him that space so he can come towards you.
mm.
If you just keep sleeping with him, he has
Yeah.
no reason to marry you.
So
Yeah, no
so
matter
true.
what he says.
So we have a question as well. What about a man who is really critical?
Oh,
So when you're saying that, what I'm guessing is he's critical, he's always saying something bad about you. You feel like, you can't say a word without him having a harsh word to say in response. And of course, if you're
yeah,
dating a man, getting to know a man, and you feel like he's really critical, first I would
yeah,
say just look to see exactly why he's critical. Like, are you critical of yourself? Because a lot of times
yeah,
those men are giving you that same energy back. Are you critical to others? Are you
yeah,
critical to him?
yeah,
But if it's a one-off situation where he's just critical and you're getting to know him,
yeah,
that's the good thing about rotationally dating. You're not locked in with
yeah,
him. You're not
yeah,
you're not engaged or married to this person. You
yeah,
see that they have a personality that doesn't make you feel good,
yeah.
because for a woman, you want to feel good in the relationship. You don't want to be in a
Mhm.
relationship where you're, walking on eggshells,
Yeah.
where being around him does something to your hormones and you
Ooh,
can't
yep.
relax. If
Yes.
he's like that, then just quietly detach yourself from him
Yeah.
and go silent. Nothing
Yeah.
gained, nothing lost.
Yeah.
Move on from him. But if it's anything deeper than that, where you're in a relationship and you've been together, then jump into the Feminine Energy Academy
Yeah.
so we can go a little deeper with you.
And ladies, just remember, hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. So if there's men in your life or people in your life right now that are just really critical and just being mean or just picking you apart, judging you,
Yeah.
judgmental, those people are hurting.
Mhm.
Because a person that is winning in life
Right.
and loves life,
That's so true.
they don't have time to pick other people apart.
That's so
ever.
true.
And exactly what you said, honey, where it's typically it's mirroring your energy. So
Hmm.
if you're finding a lot of judgmental, critical people in your life that are coming at you for whatever reason, ask yourself if you're really hard on yourself. If you judge yourself, critique yourself a lot, you
Hmm.
struggle with perfectionism, stuff like that, because they're simply just mirroring your energy.
Yes.
And of course, these are all patterns you can heal, babe.
Yes.
This is what we help our ladies do. Because if you want to attract a man, like what you're saying, where you feel nice and
Yes.
calm in your hormones and in your nervous system,
Yes.
ladies. Yeah.
And such good questions. I want to add this one
Yeah.
to it, which they're asking, what about a man who's afraid of marriage but happy and feeling home with a woman?
Say that again.
So he's happy and feeling at home with a woman, but he doesn't want to get married.
Oh, but
Uh,
doesn't want to get
yeah, I
married.
mean, a man who doesn't want to get married, first off, believe him when he says he doesn't want to get
Yeah.
married. I
That's
don't
his
care
belief.
how
That's
good,
okay.
yeah, I don't care how good he feels being around you. And when he's getting everything that a married man gets, when he's having sex, when he's able to come over when he wants to, when he's eating over there,
Yeah.
when everything is just good for him,
Yeah.
then he's going to feel good. But your challenge is, what are you looking for? And we always tell our
Exactly.
ladies, before you start moving forward and casually getting to know someone, you have to have boundaries in place. You
Mhm.
have to have your love list. You have to see if this person matches, because what happens is
Yeah.
he doesn't want to get married, but you enjoy being around him. Now you're in a situation where you're connected to him. It may be some bonding there,
Yeah.
depending on how far you've gone, and you're realizing that he doesn't want to move forward, that he really doesn't.
Yeah.
So now it's like, what do I do? Because I've spent time with him. A lot of times we see women that have put years in with someone and they come to the realization this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
But for you, as soon as you realize that this isn't going in the direction and he's made it clear, that's when you detach. You don't work your way up to detaching. You, of course, jump into the Feminine Energy Academy so you can reprogram and
Yeah.
brainwash yourself with new information. But you have to be able and willing to make that move, because, again, you'll never change the man. You won't change his thinking. He
Yep.
doesn't want to get married. That's all that matters. And if you desire to be married, then you want to get out of that situation.
That's so good. Ladies, this is going to set you free. Okay. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Let people believe what they want to believe.
Hmm.
And exactly what you're saying, you believe them when they tell you that. So people have the right to, we believe in free speech. We
Yes.
believe that you have the right to believe whatever you want to believe as long as you're not hurting people,
Yeah.
right? And so if a man doesn't believe in marriage, great.
Hmm.
Like, don't even waste your time. Like, okay, that's awesome. Now you know he's not for you
Yeah.
if you believe in marriage, right? This is why it's so important that you take time to really know what you want in a husband. And ladies, don't forget this part, because so many women forget this part. And who do you want to raise your children? Who do you want
Mm.
to be a role model in your children's lives or your future children's lives? Because I see this a lot with women where they're dating some guy, they're in a situationship, and like it works for them,
Yeah.
but he's not really a great role model for your kids. And it's like, babe, this is not just about you. This is about your kids. This is about generations. The choice that you're making right now, right? So first, get clarity on what you believe, what is right for you. How do you want to live
Yeah.
in a marriage, in a household with your kids? Who do you want raising your kids? And then date. And then date. That's your North Star, babe. Because then it's quick. Then you have something. You have a reference point where you're like, okay, this person doesn't align.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Hmm.
On to the next guy, right? And then you keep
Yeah.
dating and meeting different people until you match someone that really matches your beliefs and your values.
Yes.
The chemistry will come, the attraction will come, babe. Never date based on that. Date based on your values and the
Mm.
life you want to live. Yeah.
And that's one thing we always tell our ladies as well.
Yeah.
When dating, we have to use
Yeah.
logic. We can't lead with emotions when dating,
Yeah.
because, for one, your
Yeah.
emotions change daily.
Yes.
So if you're leading with your emotions, then today you're going to, okay, today I want to be with him. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. Tomorrow you realize that,
Yeah.
this isn't working for me. And you're going back and forth in this energy. But when you date with logic, then you have standards. You have things that
Mhm.
you already live by. And if he doesn't line up with it, we
Great.
have to be okay with that,
Yeah.
because it's just like maybe a job that you had or maybe a
Yeah.
school you went to. Okay, this isn't working for me. It's time for me to find something else
Yeah.
that lines up with who I am.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I'm not going to be happy. And
Mhm.
that's the same thing in relationships. You're not going to enjoy the
Yeah.
relationship when you don't have boundaries in
Yes.
place, and when you don't. lead from a place of logic. When you lead from emotion, your emotions are all over the place.
That's so good. And shout out to Figgy. She's in the FEA. She has a question. Are you able to
Okay.
answer
Yeah, I'll
it?
definitely pull up Figgy's question. Welcome in, Figgy. Glad you're able to join
I
us
love it. And
here.
she's loving the FEA. We
Yes.
told you, girl. We told you. The Feminine Energy Academy is nothing like on YouTube. It
Yes.
is so much better. So I'm so glad you're in there now.
So this is her. She says, "What if a woman doesn't believe in marriage? What does that
Oh,
look
yeah.
like or come across as?"
Can I
Yeah.
see that for a second? You can answer that. Honey.
Yeah, so if a woman, it's similar with the man. So now you have to understand if you're okay moving forward with a situationship, with whatever it is, because whenever you're connecting with a guy, most guys, and this is 99% of guys, aren't going to just be with you because you're a good friend. It's going to be something that comes out of it. It may start off, okay, this is their door, this is their entry to
Yeah.
get to know you where you're just friends, but
Yeah.
there are not many monogamous relationships with male and female that the man doesn't want to take it to the next level. So if you don't desire to be married, great, that's okay. But now you have to look what are the dynamics if you want to have some type of relationship, friendship with a man. And most of those dynamics is the man wanting more than just friendship. So understand that if you're getting involved with men or it's no such thing when we're talking about it as rotationally dating if it's not for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're it's just you're talking to different men. You're not rotationally dating. Rotational dating is leading somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you it depends on what you want. If you desire marriage, then rotational dating is great. If you're not looking for marriage, then what you will potentially find yourself in is a lot of situationships.
Okay, can I go deeper here for a second? So, what I always look at is the heart behind why you believe what you
So
believe.
good, yes.
Okay, because it's not about the marriage and oh, I don't believe in marriage. Typically, in my experience coaching women, and I'm not saying this is you or anyone in particular, but is there a wound there when it comes to marriage? What are your beliefs? What's the story around marriage? Because if it's coming from a wounded place, where there's a lack of trust for the masculine or marriage feels scary. And a lot of times it's because of just things that you have seen, right? Like maybe masculine energy wounds around dad, around past marriage, around past relationships. What I care more about is you healing those wounds.
Mm.
Because even if you don't believe in marriage, okay, you don't believe in
Yeah.
marriage, you're going to attract men that have those wounds until you heal that. So the biggest thing is for you to actually take time to heal those
Mm.
masculine energy wounds so that you can trust again.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
probably the biggest thing
that's
because
so
you're just going to
good.
keep attracting the same
Yes,
types of guys.
because
Yeah.
it's so important to do that because
Yeah.
it's the masculine that the relationship
Yeah.
where the relationship is broken. So, and that comes down to maybe a boss on the
Yeah.
job or a leader within your religious base.
Yeah.
You'll have challenges following those people if you have a challenge with the masculine. So,
Yeah.
really healing that womb is so important and understanding. And this
Yeah.
comes down to everything. Why don't I like this type of food? And with me, it's certain foods that I don't like. And I have to be honest with
Mhm.
myself. Why don't I like them?
Mhm.
Because it's not killing anyone. People are eating it, they're living, but I don't like it because of this. And then I have to be okay. Does that make sense? And do I need to kind of shift with it or am I okay moving forward?
Yeah.
So figuring out the why behind it
Yeah.
is even more important in how you're going to move forward. So,
Yes, exactly. In my experience coaching so many women that ended up getting engaged and married, they had a masculine energy wound first that needed to be healed.
yes.
That's just, and it came out with just a lot of times it's from religion, right? Just like religious experiences maybe you've been through, or just daddy wounds.
Yeah.
Where it just like that trust was broken. So I really, really encourage you to
Yes.
heal that. And of course, in the Feminine Energy Academy, I actually have inner healing audios that heals that relationship with the divine masculine,
Mm.
where I go through healing. Maybe I can talk about this for 2 seconds.
Yeah, go right
There's
ahead.
two main wounds, ladies, and this is for everyone that's listening right now. There's two main wounds in my experience, and this is scripture that women need to heal to really be in that thriving dating and marriage.
Mm.
And that's the widow wound and the peasant orphan wound.
Mm.
And I mean, this all over scripture, this it talks about that as well. And this is why God calls us the bride, right? That's that wholeness where we have an identity. We know we have worthiness. We're not struggling with our identity and self esteem and confidence. We know that we get to have these blessings that God has for us. And we're not orphans. We're not just like walking around with like no identity, no
Yeah.
purpose, begging and pleading God to like give us things and
Right.
chasing after men, trying to validate ourselves, because really we have this widow wound and this orphan wound that needs to be healed. And this is actually something I need, especially the widow wound, where that's that rejection, that's that abandonment. Like maybe you've been through something, you've gone through a loss, like what I went through. I like literally was a widow, right? Or a loss from a marriage, divorce, or just bad situationships where you have that rejection wound still there. That's that widow wound. And you actually got to heal that first. So you feel like the
Mm,
bride, you feel like you're the wife
yeah.
first. And then the masculine energy
Yes.
comes into your life. The man comes into your life.
That's
Yeah.
so true. What she added to it as well is she says it's definitely because of what she saw growing up with
Yes.
her parents and their
Yep.
marriage.
Yep.
So it's a lot that
Yeah.
caused that. It's so
Yeah.
good. Gratefully, thankfully, you're in the Feminine Energy
Yeah.
Academy. So just definitely reach out to Tosh
Yes.
and she'll kind of help guide
Yeah.
you with what audios and just kind of
Yeah.
through the process
Yeah.
because this is definitely something we want to get in front of.
And I'll share this with Vicky because she's in our Feminine
Yes.
Energy Academy. You don't have to worry about getting married right now, right?
Mhm.
Like, don't get fixated on that. Your big thing right now, babe, is just healing that wound. And
Mm,
it's really good that you have that awareness. That's like, okay, it's because of what I saw growing
yeah.
up, which is totally valid, babe. That is so valid that you feel the way you feel.
Mhm.
So don't judge yourself for feeling that way, and don't even worry about that right now. Just focus on healing that wound and healing that past story, and then naturally what's meant for you will
Yeah.
happen. You won't block your blessings that way.
So,
Yeah.
so good. And I want to say this one real quick.
Yeah.
Someone was asking, what about if he has fear because he had a bad experience with someone who cheated on him?
Yeah.
That's why you don't want to get married.
Yeah.
One thing, and even
Yeah.
listening to your questions, and I'll
Yeah.
make sure I answer those. One thing you want to make sure is you're not in your anxious energy. You're
Yeah.
not in your chasing energy, trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do
Yeah.
so he's okay and wants to move forward? What it sounds like is you're saying he likes you, he wants to be with you, but he has all this going on that he needs
Yeah.
to heal from. For
Yeah.
you, that's not your job.
That's right.
It's something, we can pray for people and do all of that, but for
Yeah.
you want to get your energy to a place where
Yeah.
if he's not ready, if he has a lot going on, you're rotationally dating, you're
Yeah.
doing other stuff that's
Yeah.
keeping you occupied. You're not sitting
Mhm.
thinking about, okay, he has this going on, somebody cheated on him, so he's not feeling
Mhm.
good. I want to let him know that I'm not going to cheat on him, whatever the case. No, you have to make sure that you stay in your healthy and whole
Yeah.
place. You don't get anxious because what'll happen is this will be the type of guys you'll continue to
Yep.
attract if every time he tells you something, you're like, okay, I know you want to be with me. I'm going to wait because, it's not your fault. Somebody
Yeah.
did something to you. That's not the energy you want to be in. You want to get
Yeah.
in your wife energy where
Yeah.
you're just positioning yourself.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Positioning
Yeah.
yourself
Totally.
for a guy who's ready. And it
Yeah.
sounds like at this point, unfortunately, he's not ready. So don't let that hinder you.
Okay, I have to speak on this because this so many women fall into this trap when they're in their nice girl energy.
Mm.
So that nice girl energy, and just ask yourself right now if you recognize these patterns, right? You're the type of person that likes to fix people. And a lot of times you've learned this from a young age. What's up, all my nurses, coaches, therapists? It's not a bad thing to want to bring healing to people's lives.
Yeah.
I mean, we do that. But when it comes to choosing your
Yeah.
mate, that's not how you want to choose your mate, because
Mm.
what will often happen is you have that pattern of abandoning yourself to try to fix people.
Mm.
That's that anxious attachment style,
Yeah.
okay? Getting that validation and that closeness, that intimacy and closeness, feeling important, feeling valued by fixing people,
Mm.
okay? So if that's a pattern you're playing in, I encourage you to get healing, which of course we heal in the Feminine Energy Academy. But really, you don't want to pick men based on things that they have been through that they haven't dealt with yet. Perfect example is my husband.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had a failed engagement, right? I
Mhm.
don't believe in failure. I believe all things work together for good,
Yeah.
you know, but, that's what you can call it, right? It didn't work out. So obviously that thought crossed my mind. Okay. Is he going to self
Yeah.
sabotage or is he going to be able to go to that next level? But that's not my job. I stay detached. That's on him. I'm not here to
Mhm.
fix him.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was him, that he had to do his own inner healing, his own therapy. He had to work through his own self-sabotaging patterns in order to be with me. But that was not my job. Okay. And so for you ladies, set yourself free. You don't need to go around fixing people
Yeah.
unless they are paying you money and they're your clients.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we go so much deeper in the Feminine Energy Academy. Each and
Yes.
every Saturday, we
Yes.
have master classes where it's a lot more intimate, where
Yeah.
we're able to go deep into the questions that you're
Yes.
asking, and also popping in during the week to kind
Mhm.
of answer some of you ladies' questions as
Yeah.
well, where we're really able to break it down because we try to be respectful on here. A lot
Yeah.
of information people don't want to share because it's a
Yes.
live platform, but we're able to go inside the
Yeah.
Feminine Energy Academy with a community of ladies that's like a family, the
Yeah.
ladies that have been in there,
Yeah.
and you feel free to just open up and understanding that that's your safe place to really get those answers that you desire.
Yeah, and speaking of which, this Saturday we have a potent masterclass for you ladies, a live coaching masterclass. We have Dr. Bridget, who's Coach B's sister,
Yes.
who got remarried at 53
Mm.
as a single mom with two kiddos, okay? PhD, so she was her boss babe,
Mm.
but she's going to really be sharing all the stuff she had to do and the mindset shifts and how she had to have her glow up before she attracted her amazing, we love Coop so much, her amazing, amazing provider, energy husband. She is living her best life right now. And she's really good, like myself, at mastering
Mm.
that art of, okay, when you're doing your work related stuff, being in a certain energy, when you're with your husband, you're in a different type of energy. That is a skill set. That is what true feminine intelligence is. And that is a skill set that you as a woman need to master. If you're a boss babe, if you're super successful, you're a manager, you run businesses, you're a doctor, nurse, all that stuff, and that's great, you're a single mom,
Yeah.
you are in a certain type of energy,
Yes.
but you can't bring that energy into your dating and marriage
Mm.
because it's going to repel masculine energy men. So that's a big thing of what we teach our ladies, is how to have that awareness and how to retrain your nervous system to really be in that soft energy with how you talk, how you walk, and how you interact and influence the masculine.
Yes. And we
Yeah.
also have a section in there with Ask a Man where
Yes.
any questions that you have, be it your relationship or just in general,
Yeah.
and you want a man's perspective, we're able to go deep and help you answer those because it's a lot of times where, okay, you're getting the inner healing and
Yes.
now you have to go back out there. Now you're
Yeah.
dealing with other people, you're dealing
Yeah.
with the masculine, and now you want to know exactly how do I respond in this situation?
Yes.
What is he thinking? Why did he
Yes.
say this? So we have space for that as well within the community.
Yeah, I saw a question. I don't know if that's the question, but I did see someone comment on one of our YouTube videos. It wasn't really a question, it was a comment.
Okay.
And they were talking about, we had a video that did really well this week and people were commenting on it. And he was talking about how some women don't want to be with men that don't look as good as them. And obviously
He said what?
some women
Okay.
don't want to be with
Oh,
men that don't look as
yeah,
good
yeah.
as
This is
them.
it right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And what we teach on this channel is we teach our women to not choose men based on their looks. And a lot of women do that. They choose men based on looks,
Mhm.
but those women are in their masculine energy, because what we talked about today, what you talked about, is the masculine is visual.
Yes.
They're visual. So you as a woman, if you are choosing a man based on how he looks, how good he looks, you are in your masculine energy as a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you want to add
Yeah,
to that.
but
Yeah.
also from a man's perspective, I want to
Yeah.
come from most men. I don't care how good we think we look.
Yeah.
I don't care if we got a fresh haircut, teeth all lined up, fresh, everything's fresh. We're not approaching it in a way of, I look just as good as you.
Yeah.
That's not how most healthy masculine men think.
Yes.
Like, okay, you don't want to be with me because I look just as good as you. I don't care how good a man thinks he looks. That's not
So
that's
good,
not
babe.
important for us.
So good.
We want to make sure we're fresh and make sure we're
Yeah.
presentable, But that's not important to us. What's important to us is making sure we can provide, protect, making sure we can
Yes.
take care of you. So even
Uh-huh.
if that's a conversation from a
Yes.
man's perspective, then the antenna should go up to,
Yeah.
why do you think you look so good, and why you feel you need to share that you look good with
Right.
me. We know our aunties, our cousins, our mothers tell us that we're handsome, but
Yeah.
that's not something that matters to us. So just be on the lookout. If guys are saying, I look just as good as you, or you don't like me because I look just as good as you, then that's someone you want to really be on guard with, because if it sounds like they could potentially be into themselves.
Well, and if they feel like they don't look as good as you, right? So if a man,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So even if men don't look as good as you, that's a great sign, right?
Yes.
Because typically, exactly what you're saying, healthy masculine energy men, like men that are in their provider energy, are not spending hours in front of the mirror,
No.
ladies. They are not. They're busy taking care of business. They're busy working. They're busy volunteering. They're busy running teams. They're busy making sure the wife is happy and she has everything that she needs and the kids, right? And so don't go after men that are just spending all this time on their
Yeah.
own looks.
Yes.
They're just like making all these videos, posting
Right.
selfies, thirst traps. Those
Yeah.
types of men are so self centered,
Yes.
ladies. Okay. So stay away from those guys. A lot of the really great guys get overlooked. And I
Mm.
think that's what he was talking about. A lot of the great guys get overlooked because they don't look a certain way on
Mm.
the dating apps, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
actually, can I speak about dating apps for a
Oh,
second?
definitely. Go right ahead.
Okay, since we're talking about this, one thing that we really specialize in is helping women on the dating apps. And this is just the day and age that we live in right now, where you have a way bigger pool to
Hmm.
choose from when you're online in business and in dating.
Yes.
Most people meet online now.
Yeah.
Everyone that we have helped coach that is now engaged and married met online, different countries, right? That's just the world we live in now. Now, so you as a woman, this is a skill set that you want to develop. You want to know, you want to have a really great profile, you want to optimize that, and you need to learn how to choose men so you
Hmm.
don't waste your time. So I just want to throw that out there. If you're struggling with that, if you're feeling really overwhelmed, we got you. This is something that we help you with in the Feminine Energy Academy. So if you want help with that, just private message me in the Feminine Energy Academy and we can get you the programs that you need for that and we can give you our feedback as well.
Yes, yes. We'll do a
Yeah.
couple of more questions. One says, and this is more of just a funny question. Not funny, but I understand it. What if a husband wants to look better than his wife?
Oh, that's so messed up.
Then my response is that, I don't know if he wants to be a wife or what the case is,
Yeah.
because most men don't want to be in competition with their wife with
Yeah.
anything. That doesn't bring any polarity. So,
Yeah.
maybe if you dress him up or something, like when we're going out,
Yeah.
maybe she'll help me pick out something because I don't really care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe we look good in that sense, but I'm not looking in the mirror saying,
Yeah.
okay, my shirt fits better than me, than your shirt. I look better than you. My shoes look better than yours. It's no competition. We want you to look better than us. And
Yes. Thank
99%
you
of
for
the
saying
time,
that.
we want
Yeah.
the woman to look better than us, because when we're going out, you're representing us as well, just you being with us. You
Yeah.
don't even have to say a word. If
Yeah.
we have a woman that looks better than us, that people are looking at like, okay, she's well put together, then that lets people know that we make good decisions. So
Yes.
it's not about us in that sense. It's about you looking good.
I mean, just think about this. If you saw a man and he's like all decked out, all flashy, and then his wife looks burnt out and
Mm,
exhausted and is not looking good,
yeah.
you would think there's something majorly wrong in that marriage, right? But we praise women and men, especially men, all the time
Yeah.
when the woman is looking
Yeah.
rested, she's looking fresh, she's
Yep.
happy, right? We are the crown. Like even
Yep.
scripture talks about that. We are the crown, right?
Mm,
For the man. So, ladies, like how we look represents our
yes.
husbands. Okay. I remember growing up with a masculine energy mom who I love so much. But, the women that looked really good and rested, she'd be like, oh, she's just really well taken care of. Like, in
Yeah.
other words, she doesn't have to take care of herself.
Yeah.
Right. But she was kind of saying it as a knock. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be that woman. I want to be
Exactly.
her. Right. Yeah.
Exactly. We'll do a few more. And one says, what does it mean when a man is presenting you to his friends?
Presenting you?
Yeah, basically
Okay.
introducing. When a
Oh, yeah.
man's
That's a good sign.
introducing you to his friends, it can be a good sign. It depends on how he's introducing you, because that doesn't mean because he's introducing you that things are official.
Right.
Because if you're with him, he'll say, okay, this is my friend, my coworker, this is someone I'm talking to. The title matters, and then as
Yeah.
well, who's around, like which friends are there, are these like people that he's close to? So introduction alone,
Yeah,
because
that's true.
I don't want to give
That's
you a
true.
false sense of hope
Yeah.
as you get, as you ask that question without much context.
Yeah.
So if he's introducing you and you're with him, that's normal, that's respectful. If
Yeah.
somebody's with me, I don't care if it's a cousin or if it's, maybe a teammate from school or a fellow coach, I'll introduce them because I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable around each other. So
Yeah.
the introduction alone doesn't mean that you're an official couple or anything like that, because he can say, there's good people right here. This is a friend of mine, and have no meaning behind it. It's
Yeah.
about how is he treating you. It's also about, do you have any type of timelines on where the relationship is going?
Yeah.
And introduction is small in the big scheme of things.
Yeah. I mean, he could just introduce you, with your name, and it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So don't look too much into it.
Yeah. And one more thing,
Yeah.
and this is just us personally, we're not girlfriend boyfriend relationship titles, especially when you're in your 30s and 40s. That doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
It's a placeholder.
Yeah.
So I don't want you holding on to that girlfriend title if he
Yes.
introduced you as that, because men have multiple girlfriends sometimes.
I mean, girlfriend, boyfriends at our age and older are just glorified situationships.
That's it.
Ladies, they're just glorified situationships at our age and older. The whole boyfriend girlfriend thing, it's a pseudo relationship. It's not even a real relationship. You're either single or you're married or you're engaged.
Yeah.
Really, that's it.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
we have so many more questions on which we can get to, and definitely wife is the title to have.
Yes, but you got to be in that energy
Yeah,
first, baby.
definitely. So if we didn't get to your questions, go ahead and jump into the Feminine Energy
Mhm.
Academy. It's a free 7-day trial now. We'll answer all the questions that you have. We'll be able to go a little deeper
Yeah.
with it as well. Plus, you get access to all the audios. You can binge watch, brainwash yourself with this information, because we understand the way you think about things is what you're able to attract. So if you're attracting
Yes.
the wrong type of guys, then you may need to change your thinking.
Oh, that's so good, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk to